Matt Murray,
Yes, sir.
how are you?
Doing good. Thanks for letting me come on. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you, man. It's great. I did a great job tonight.
You know what? I don't care about the size of the crowd. Ever since COVID hit, I'm incredibly appreciative of any live audience.
Yeah.
So 2 or 200, they get my absolute full effort no matter what.
Right. So this week at the Comedy Cave, Matthew Murray, okay? Veteran of the Canadian comedy scene. And he's here all week up until Saturday.
Yes, that's right. Calgary born and bred, now living in Saskatoon and back home to Calgary to enjoy all the things that I missed about this town, including LRTs that run right through the middle of traffic and GPSs that can't seem to get me where I want to go.
Is that how it's been?
Yeah. When I left Calgary about almost 17 years ago now, it was just before it hit about 1 million people. And GPS wasn't really a thing, and I was used to the quadrants and northeast, northwest, southwest. And now I come back, I can't find anything. It's amazing to see how this city has grown.
Yeah. It's huge now, right? It's what we're 1.4 now or something like that?
Yeah,
So.
and Saskatoon, where I'm at now, is 250,000, maybe, if you count dogs. Maybe 600,000 between Regina and Saskatoon. So it's nice to be back in a large population center again.
You like it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Saskatchewan, you've treated me like gold. I'm not putting you under the bus in here. I love Saskatchewan. It's treated me wonderful. But this is where I grew up. This is what I remember, 8th Street, growing up in Marlborough Park and Abbeydale.
Oh,
this is
wow.
my home, right? So it's neat to see all the places that I've been, and I'm spending the days just driving up and down the streets and remembering. It's been great.
Yeah. Calgary, Matt is one of us, okay?
And I'm very much a Calgarian living in Saskatchewan. I have not switched over to the Riders. I have not slowed down. I've not gone socialist in any way, shape, or form. I'm flying the Calgarian colors very proudly.
Stamps fan, eh?
Absolutely. They hate it.
I know.
The neighbors hate it. There is an active campaign to oust the one Stamps fan from their block. It is rough.
I hope that you put up the colors sometimes.
Yeah,
and make them mad.
I've got those Govee lights around the house that you can change for the Christmas colors. Every time the Stamps win, my house goes red, and then I've also got a pressure washer for the eggs. So it's a good thing. Yeah.
A pressure washer. They don't do that. Do they?
No, they don't go that bad, but it can get rough. I'll tell you, the single worst gig I ever had in my entire career, the single biggest bomb ever,
Okay.
was before I moved from Calgary. I was doing a gig in Regina, and earlier that afternoon, the Stampeders had eliminated the Riders from playoff contention, and the MC brought me up as, ladies and gentlemen, your headliner from Calgary, Matthew Murray. And it wasn't like a boo, we're going to like heckle you. It was active silence. It was a sold-out room of about 120 people, literally deciding as a group, we are not going to say anything. We're not going to laugh. We're not going to just start talking to each other. We're going to treat this like a library and watch you sweat and cry for 50 minutes. It was horrible.
Wow. But you did it.
Yeah, I did it. It's that's part of doing it. I've been doing stand-up now this is my 26th year. I'm just starting.
26. And
Yeah.
you left Calgary 17 ago. Is that what you said?
Yep, that's
So
about
you
right.
did
Yeah.
about 10 years here?
Yep, I did about 10. I grew up mainly playing at there was a comedy club, just the one, up on the Blackfoot. And the Comedy Cave was on McLeod Trail when I left.
Right.
So I had done a bunch there. And then...
The Travel Lodge.
Yes,
Is that it?
that's right, yeah. But now, the Comedy Cave, where I'm here all week, it's right in the downtown. It's a very convenient location.
Yep.
And it's the one that's running all week.
Right.
So if I have anywhere to choose to play, I like the chance to run new material and run 6 shows in 6 nights is huge. I think they're doing a lot to support comedy by doing it every single night, and that's why I like to play here.
There aren't a lot of places where you can say, I'll be here all week. You do your Rodney or whatever. Right?
Hey, be all week, try to be. Yeah, I mean, most comedy clubs run Thursday through Saturday. I also do some shows in Vegas, and you can go up anytime, any day or night, on any night. But this is one of the single longest runs you can do in one place. And the Comedy Cave, the food here is great. The tickets are very reasonably priced. and they're incredibly hospitable towards the comedians here. So I like playing.
Yeah,
this
and
club.
I didn't even prompt you to do that promo. He believes in this place, everybody.
Yes.
Like,
I did not write that down. There was no exchange of finance
I agree,
whatsoever.
though.
No,
it's
is
a great room. I like the way it's set up around here. Like, I feel like we've got good sight lines for everybody that's in the room.
Yep.
And the food is fantastic. Like, you can do a lot worse in this city for your entertainment dollar than to come to the Comedy Cave on any night but Sunday.
Yes,
right?
any night but Sunday. The Lord needs his day. He should get his respect. And then other than that, forget about that Monday through Saturday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you mentioned 27 years? Is that
Yeah,
what you said?
26, 20, somewhere on that. Somewhere around that. I actually was classically trained. I went to dramatic arts theater. I was going to be an actor.
Okay.
And then I realized if you're not 6'2" with a chiseled jaw, or you're not like Tom Cruise level talent, you're always going to be cast as the villain or the sidekick or the... So I figured, well, why would I go into a career of acting and always be the second or third or fourth name? Instead, I got bit by stand-up comedy and went, this is my show. This is me. There's no director. There's no script. There's no, hey, this guy messed up his line, so I couldn't do my line right. As soon as I got that total creative control, I didn't want to do anything else.
Right. So, and then you spent a lot of time here kind of trying to, because you mentioned it yourself, there wasn't that much going on at the time. Must have been hard to cut your teeth here.
Well,
right?
there was, I mean, at that time, the runs were a bit longer. There were 3 or 4 other bookers, and it was just...
But the mics, there probably weren't a ton of mics, right?
We had a fair chunk, actually.
really?
Like,
Okay.
Yeah, I came up with a group that we had a Tuesday. We had 2 Tuesday nights, a Wednesday night, and then the clubs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and there was a Sunday. So
and a Monday. You would
could
have had some of the Monday.
Yep.
At least 3 or 4 years of the Monday room.
Yes. No, I left Calgary before Comedy Monday night was a big thing.
It was, but it's there on 20 years. So
Yeah.
there's 3 years of probably building the show.
They were just getting going. So
Yeah.
I didn't really get part of that. But the comedians themselves, we knew we needed more stage time. So everyone was promoting everyone else. We were all just getting on each other's shows. And then it was, hey, you got to drive this headliner because he's lost his license. We're going to pay you $40. And if you ask really nice, they'll give you a cheeseburger. And that was for the first 3 years. It was just, I can't believe I'm getting a free hotel room. I can't believe I'm getting food as well as getting to go on stage. I basically worked for nothing for the first 3 to 5 years.
Yeah. And then there was a shift after that?
Yeah. Finally, I realized that MC was kind of the role to more finance and to more gigs. Scott Harris, who's an incredibly good MC, he's a headliner in his own right, but he wrote the book on how to properly MC. And I got lucky to go on a weekend. He bailed me out of jail too, which I really appreciated. Sorry, Scott, I still owe you for that. But he sort of taught me the tricks of the trade to MCing, and every club, every corporate gig wanted a good MC that could keep a show running. So I ended up working a lot more than a lot of other guys that started when I started because I had that MC role nailed down.
Right.
Then I found that I hit a glass ceiling because the guys that I passed early by doing MCing, they were actually honing their craft and getting to 10 and to 15 to 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then I realized, well, I've got time, but I'm so used to doing the birthday stuff and the guy in the front row. I finally had to have Daryl Lennox pull me aside and say, dude, you're never going to make headliner doing the MC stuff. And so I had to consciously take a step back and work my way up to headliner.
It's funny,
from
so
there.
many people count him as a mentor in one way or the other.
Daryl Lennox?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got the chance to work with him a few times. He's one of those guys that when he talks, you listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very lucky. The headliners that were working when I was coming up fell into one of 2 camps. You are trying to take my food, and I hate you, or I'm going to help you up along the way.
Right.
And those guys, I always try to pay it forward as much as I can. Whenever I'm working with new talent, I'm trying to give back's not the right term, but I'm just trying to help them as well. Oh, did we lose our recording?
No,
Oh,
I don't think so.
we're almost out of memory space.
Yeah, it's told. Remember, I said 25,
Ah.
so we've still got 15. It was just
Okay.
a little warning. Wow.
No problem.
So, okay, so Daryl tells you this, and now you're a host. You're taking a little step back from that now to start writing and developing your own act.
Right. So now I got to go. What it felt like a step back to go to middle, but it was a drop down in pay. But now I had to take all these different little 5-minute chunks that I was doing in between everybody as an MC and go, okay, I actually need a cohesive 30.
Okay.
And then so I stepped back from that, did a lot fewer gigs, worked on getting up to 60. That was the goal back then. It was just get to 60. Once you've got 60 and it plays in most rooms, you can headline.
That's still the goal.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like I try to tell comedians in general, like if you can do this regularly, you're already in rarefied air. Like how many professional stand-up comedians are there in North America, let alone Canada? Right? It's a very small percentage.
Right.
So at least give yourself some credit. Like this is a very hard thing to do that everybody else wants to do or pretends that, no one ever like sees a doctor and like, oh man, I always thought I could be a doctor. I saw you do that cutting part and I'm really good at cutting at home. And my friends always tell me I'm really good at cutting. So I thought maybe, no, everyone sees stand up. They go, I think I'm really funny. They don't have the guts to try it. So any comedian that's just doing it and making a buck,
Yeah.
you're already won.
Yeah.
This is the greatest job in the world.
I agree.
Getting to headliner is bonus points and awesome, and everyone should be pushing for that. But just be happy that you're doing one of the single greatest jobs available.
I'm happy when I get to host in middle.
Yeah.
Right? It's so amazing that we get to do this and just stand up on a stage. We're like the soapbox guys from like Jesus times or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and some people comedy is sort of looked to as the truth tellers to a degree, because everyone's like, well, what's Jon Stewart's take on something? People are sort of looking for us to have some commentary or some opinion up here as well, because they've been lied to in every other form of media in some form or fashion over the last 50 years. They're finally coming to the comedians and saying, well, these guys at least seem to call it the way they see it.
yeah.
Now, me, I'm a bit of the still like, hey, I'm just here to make you laugh. I
Yeah.
don't have a particularly deep message to my act, but I respect a lot of comedians who go, you know what, this is my viewpoint. I'm going to make it funny, but you're also going to know my viewpoint.
Yeah. But I think that suits you well to almost not be like that, because I read you're almost a gun for hire, right? You written, 1,000 white labels?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, at one point I worked with an American, it's been rebranded, but at the time it was called Comedy Wire.
Okay.
So basically we were white label comedy. They would give us all the headlines of the day, half a dozen silly clips or a funny photo that was going viral, and you just sat there and banged out 30, 40, 50, 60 jokes a day.
Wow.
And then if they bought them, you got a piece of it, and they had little contests on there to, points, and we all had usernames on there, so we didn't know whose joke was whose, but we had formed a little community. I met some great guys out of that, and that sort of led to getting the chance to play Gotham and do a bunch of stuff in the States. Yeah,
That's huge. Yeah.
it's
And then would you cherry pick the best jokes that you were writing, and unless they're all topical?
no,
right?
well, yeah, a lot of them were topical,
Yeah.
and a lot of them as well. Once you submitted them, they're like you don't own them anymore,
right.
So you couldn't be like, well,
Even if they didn't buy them?
no, that once anything that was submitted on the website became their intellectual property.
Okay.
So, and I'll do topical if it strikes me, but I've never been one to like, oh, yeah, there's some headlines today. What are the jokes of today? So I didn't feel like I was burning any material or losing anything by doing it.
Okay.
If anything, it just gave me a chance to learn to write in other people's voices.
Oh,
So I
okay.
would get this, okay, you need to write these from a voice of guy that loves Pringles chips, not a sponsor. Or a guy that, they wouldn't just give like, hey, write funny lines about this, but write funny lines and to be like, hey, we're selling these to the southern states, so they need to be kind of right-wing jokes. These new ones need to be left-wing jokes. These ones need to be like, don't make fun of the product or don't make fun of the headline.
Right. So there you guys go. If you guys need to book a professional comic, Matthew Murray, he is the guy. Like,
Hey, I'm just happy to be here. The Comedy Cave treats me like gold every time I'm here. We've got shows all through the week. Tickets are available. The Fridays and Saturdays are always packed. The Tuesday, Wednesdays, the food specials are great. The ticket pricing is excellent.
yeah.
So I'm here all week. I'll be back as often as the Comedy Cave will have me.
Yeah.
And hey, this has been really cool, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate you doing this,
Yeah.
Matthew.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Excellent. All right, man.
Yeah.
Take care.